All right, so I'm working on this Scion TC. It has a coolant leak coming from behind the engine here. It's a slow leak. I already did a compression test. Everything on this side, radiator hoses, everything tested okay. The front of the engine is wet. It looks like coolant and oil mixed together, but there's a steady drip back here. I don't know if you can see it, but up under the intake manifold, right there where that foam pad is, there's a steady drip, and it just keeps dripping out of there. So what happens is you drive it for a while and it overheats, but it takes about a week or so to start overheating. I'm wondering if it's a head gasket. I'm gonna probably have to take that manifold off and see, but I think before that I'm going to pressure test the cylinders one more time and see what I got. All right, so welcome back. We're gonna be doing the head gasket on this Scion TC, 2.4 liter, I believe. It's leaking from the outside of the head gasket there and behind here on the intake manifold. So first thing we're gonna do is, I took out the battery already. We're gonna take the intake out, take the connectors off, take the exhaust manifold off, take the intake manifold off, and then we'll come over here and start to unbolt the alternator, take the belt off, take this out of the way, and go from there. I'll check back with you guys after I make a little progress. Looks like a pretty straightforward job. The only thing I'm concerned about are the torque specs on the head bolts and the head bolts being stripped out or corroded based upon what I read on the internet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Stay tuned. I'll check back with you guys. All right, so making a little more progress on this head gasket. Starting to get pissed off though. I mean, it is a beautiful fall day, but these friggin' leaves keep falling in the engine bay on top of shit. And I keep missing wrenches and I'm getting rained on. It's getting all in my garage. It's a fucking mess. Look, here you go. Some more leaves. Yeah, thanks, Mother Nature. Appreciate it. But anyway, we're getting ready to take this manifold out. It's all unbolted. Took the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts out up top on the head. There were 11 or 12 millimeter nuts, not bolts, nuts. And then there were 2 14 millimeter bolts down below, right there on that flange. So that's coming out. Take that out, put that aside. And then we'll get working on the belt, the alternator, and also I gotta drain the coolant. Almost forgot to drain the coolant. And that looks like there was some plastic or something in there. That don't look good. I don't know what that's about. Oh, you know what? That's from the weld. They welded an exhaust piece on there. It's a repair, if you can see it there. Oh, yeah, it's normal. I don't think that'll affect anything. But anyway, just giving you guys a quick update. Also, what I've noticed on this older vehicle is these tabs here broke. Hey, there's some more leaves. Broke 2 tabs out of 4, and also some of these hoses, these vacuum lines, like this one here that connects to the back of the valve cover, is dry rotted. So you gotta take your time and try not to turn them things to dust on top of leaves falling on you every 5 friggin' seconds. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward, like I said. And I'm gonna chip away at it, get more done, and I'll check back with you guys afterwards. All right, just so you guys know, I just wanted to touch base on this try not to curse, but this engine mount, it's so stupid. It's got a nut and a bolt there, and then underneath there, it's got another nut that you gotta go through right here, this little area that they give you, and loosen it. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it took me a second to realize why the bracket for the mount wasn't coming off. So if you guys struggle getting that bracket off, just know that there's another nut underneath holding it on. So don't go breaking your timing chain cover trying to get that off. All right, so to drain the coolant, I just disconnected that bottom hose down there. Just took that clamp off, see it flopping around. Let that drain out down there. I'll probably leave that hose. Actually, no, I'm gonna take that hose off because the thermostat is in here and we're gonna be replacing that. And I also wanna check the seal on this while we have everything off. Let's just try to stay as thorough as possible. Try to cover every possible area I can so that when this thing goes back together, it is 100%. All right, so another update on this Scion TC. Made a little bit more progress today. Got the intake manifold disconnected. That stays there. I think there's about 6 or 7 bolts. Holding that in place, they're 12mm bolts. So you just leave that unbolted back there. And then you come over here to the timing cover, you pull that off, the chain off, and then you pull this cam out and flap the chain over and then unbolt the head, and the head should come right out. That car sounds great. All right, I'll get back to you guys after I get the head pulled. All right, so we're back with this head removed from the engine. So it didn't go as planned. What happened was when we removed these head bolts from the engine block, about 3 of them pulled threads out with them. So that's not good. So we had to do some research, figured it out. We got to get this kit. Here, and we have to drill out the head threads out of the engine block, drill out the block threads, I should say, and put a time cert in where we drill it out and where we tap it so that we can torque it to spec. It's kind of a shitty situation, but at least there is a repair for this. So we also checked the cylinder head. We got that cleaned up, checked for warpage. There's no warpage. So the center 2 head bolts that we removed were completely loose. They were just floating around in there, which that explains why the cylinder head was leaking. Threads came out of this hole, these 2 holes. I don't know if anyone was ever in here, if anybody ever tried to repair this, because there are a few other repairs you can try besides tapping it with the time certs. You could put longer cylinder head bolts in it, which, yeah, sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not work, but the proper and best repair we could come up with after reading a bunch of forums on the internet was buying this kit here and drilling it out and putting the time cert in. So we're gonna get that done. We'll get that set up. We'll show you guys how we do it with this jig that they give you. And we'll go from there, and I'll check back and let you know if these head bolts torque to spec. So any comments, any questions, please leave it down below. Any information on this engine, this is a Scion TC 2006. It would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, this is part 1. We're gonna do a part 2 to this after we put everything back together. So thanks for watching, appreciate it, and we'll keep you posted. Disgusting. Look at all that drool on that, Noel. Ew. Ew. Good girl, relax. Take a break. Take a break. It's okay. Take a break. Take a break.